In Metro Vancouver, Greater Vancouver, the Fraser Valley, and much of the Central and North Coast, it is frigid, and officials in the Lower Mainland are urging people to take extra caution while commuting or driving on the roads.
We're doing everything we can to prepare our system to mitigate any delays to transit because of the weather, but we really encourage customers to build extra time in their commute, sign up for transit alerts, and check their route before they go. And they can do that in a number of ways, either by consulting our trip planner, calling our customer information line, following us on X, formerly Twitter, or signing up for transit alerts. Really, it's important to build that extra time in your commute, dress properly for the weather.
The problem I think that we have in BC is we're not prepared, and our cities are not really prepared for winter driving. So we don't see it very often, but when we do, we don't quite know or have the skills to drive on our roads. So that's the biggest problem. So that would be with drivers just right now on the roads, but also there's an element for the new drivers that don't have experience at all. So it kind of puts them in a dangerous situation. This might be the first time they've ever seen snow on the roads, and they are out there driving on their own as well. So, it's kind of twofold. Mature drivers or experienced drivers might have an issue, but also the inexperienced.
I mean, I couldn't believe how cold it was this morning when I was getting in the car to go to work with that wind chill. So you've had so many great tips so far of layering up, making sure, one thing that we always like to say is if you're going to be traveling, that make sure that your car has enough fuel in it to get you where you need to go in case you get stranded, a sudden snowstorm, if you're on a highway, making sure you've got, proper winter tires for sure is important. Putting snacks and water in your car and maybe an additional blanket. So if you get stuck on a highway, all little things like that. And, of course, snow tires are so important.
In that clip, we heard from Translink spokesperson Tina Lovegreen, Drive BC, Kate Harris, or DriveWise BC's Kate Harris, and Brian Thwaites, a paramedic public information officer with BC Emergency Health Service, just telling people how to take extra care while commuting or being out on the roads. And with that, how have you prepared for the cold? CBC story producer Michelle Gomez hit the streets of Vancouver to find out.
I'm Della. I own Super Bubba, and over the next 3 days, it's going to get very cold. So we're preparing our space by, running our heat overnight and running some taps very lightly so that no pipes freeze. Every year, we have this sort of 2 to 3 weeks where it gets very, very cold and sometimes snows. And so we try now to prepare ourselves because we've just heard of so many stories and things have happened to us too, where it always ends up having to do with something freezing or something leaking because of the cold. For us, we've just had moments where there's been so much snowpack on our roof, for example, because of the way it melts, it'll penetrate through the building and then end up leaking into the actual building itself.
So I've put some heat warming lamps up against the shutoffs to warm the pipes in the shutoff, and I hope that'll do the job.
I honestly don't know. I got an email from my building manager telling me what to do, and I did it.
What was it? What was it that you had to do?
Make sure that the heat is on at least 10, 15 degrees in every room, and making sure that the water is running at least once a day in every faucet. All that good stuff.
Turn off the hose bibs on the outside. We recently got a heat pump installed, so hopefully that will reduce the energy consumption a little bit. Helps regulate the temperature indoor as well. Other than that, park your cars inside as much as possible, and yeah, that's it.